Do you like Elden Ring? Do you like Hollow Knight? Then you need to give Moonscars a shot. Let's take a look. Moonscars is a 2D Souls-like Metroidvania released by Humble Games and developed by Black Mermaid. I played through the first area of the game, and I thought I'd give my first impressions. By the way everyone, if you like this content, please consider liking the video and subscribing. It really helps the channel. This game follows the story of Grey Irma, a warrior made of clay by a man named the Sculptor who has lost her memories. It's your quest to hunt down the Sculptor and uncover the mystery of your existence. The story so far is intriguing, but very, very vague, as to be expected of a Souls game. I expect that it will become more comprehensible as the game continues. Right now, the main aspects of the game that really capture my interest are the presentation and the gameplay. Speaking of which, the thing that probably stands out to you immediately about Moonscars, and the thing that made me want to check it out so badly, is the presentation. This is a phenomenal looking game. The pixel art is beautiful and smooth, with tons of frames dedicated to every attack. Seriously, just look at this stuff! Music, however, is a bit of a sour point in the fact that it's basically non-existent. It's all ambient and dour music here, with no standout tunes to speak of. It fits the atmosphere of the game, but I would have appreciated some more interesting tunes. Gameplay in this game follows your standard Souls-like formula. This is a side-scrolling game with melee combat, and dying sends you back to the nearest spot of rest, which are called mirrors in this game. You have your basic 3-hit sword attack string, as well as a charged attack which can launch enemies into spiked walls. You can also parry enemy attacks with the R1 button, which is necessary to learn for some of the tougher enemies. In the bottom left of the screen is your health, as well as your Ichor meter. Ichor is basically the equivalent of Estus from Dark Souls. By spending it, you can recover your health, as well as use it to use spells called witcheries, of which there are a ton to unlock. Along the way, Irma will unlock special attacks using various clay weapons. These can range from a mighty hammer that stuns enemies, to a spinning wheel of death that cripples them and leads to extra damage. I found myself leaning towards the harpoon weapon as a particularly effective ranged option. Where the game really shows its brutal difficulty is in the various systems it uses to differentiate itself from other Souls-likes. The two most interesting are the Moonhunger system and the Doppelganger system. Moonhunger occurs when you die too many times. When the moon is hungry, enemies are tougher but they drop more resources. By spending a resource called Ichor glands, you can alleviate the moon's hunger temporarily. This system is interesting. It definitely amps up the challenge of the game, but I don't know if it's really okay for a game to punish you for dying in an already hard game. The Doppelganger system also adds to the challenge. For every mirror you activate, you have to fight a doppelganger of yourself who also steals your special attack. I found this mechanic to be honestly really frustrating. These doppelgangers put up a hell of a fight, as shown by the time I spent over 6 minutes just trying to kill one. It can be kind of annoying to have to do this at every mirror. You may have noticed that I said try this game in the title, not buy it. That's for two reasons. The first is that the developers found a game-breaking bug in the game that can inhibit your completion. I would recommend not purchasing Moonscars until this is fixed. The second reason really is due to the insane difficulty of this game. This is not a game that everyone can play. I'd argue that this isn't even a game that every Souls-like fan would enjoy. This is the kind of game where you can get two-shot by trash enemies on the regular. There's a difference between a difficult game and a bullshit game, and this game tends to lean further into the bullshit category than I like in my kinds of games. Therefore, I'd recommend trying this game either on Xbox Game Pass or with the Steam 2-hour refund policy before purchasing. Give the game a try and see if you like it, but don't be discouraged if it simply isn't for you. Moonscars is an interesting game that I think Souls-like fans and Metroidvania fans should at least try. It has a beautiful art style, an interesting world, and fantastic combat, but falters in its difficulty and deviations from the Souls-like formula. Even with these problems, I would still recommend giving it a try. Indie developers put a lot of time and passion into their projects, and even if they aren't perfect, I still feel there are always experiences worth elevating. Thank you all for watching.